Hi, my name is Rachel Check, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer and one of the executive producers for Unincarcerated Productions, and I live in the greater Seattle area. And although I'm not formally incarcerated, I have been working in prison programs for the past 6 years, both at San Quentin in California and at Monroe Correctional here in Washington State. And what I know from doing this work is I believe in second chances, but more importantly, I believe in first chances. And oftentimes what I've seen spending time with people and getting to know their stories is that they haven't had a first chance in life, and then they end up in prison. And when they come out, they're really, for the first time, getting a chance to have a life. Next up, we had the distinct pleasure of interviewing David Heppard, who's the executive director of an organization called Freedom Project. Freedom Project is this amazing organization that does trauma-informed work and helps people who are incarcerated and formerly incarcerated process their trauma through anti-oppression and equity work, mindfulness, and nonviolent communication. The thing about David is that even though he's been through a lot himself, what I really admire about him is that whenever you hear him talk, it's about other people and helping us understand what the plight of being incarcerated is like, and also what it's like when people get out. And so I'm really excited to introduce you to him, and I can't wait for you to learn from him like I do every single time I hear him talk.
My name is David Heppard. I currently live in Auburn, Washington. I'm the executive director at Freedom Project, and I did 24 years in the Department of Corrections. Well, let's say this. People who are currently incarcerated are vulnerable. If you've ever seen some type of sickness or anything pop up in the penitentiary, it spreads like wildfire because of how it's constructed, right? And so there's this, so just to sit with that, to understanding of people who are currently incarcerated, how vulnerable they are to something like COVID-19, right? And a CO, an employee, went in and now they shut everything down, right? Now, across the state, you can't have visits, and our programs, our volunteers can't go inside and stuff like that. But on the inside, it's shut down. So half of it is 24-hour lockdown and so it looks a lot of different ways, but it's shut down inside. And so just sit with your understanding of how frustrating it is that somebody's telling you that you shouldn't leave your house, right? And how frustrated you might be. It's an inconvenience. There's so much you need to do and all this other stuff. And then sit with that when you're in a circumstances that you have no choice in this matter, right? And you're open to exposure based on who comes to work, right? And you sit with that, and you don't have the luxury of being able to contact your family in any real way. And your family the family that is free and out there and are dealing with these circumstances, and this was hard for me, is when your family's going through it, that's hard for you on the inside. Now imagine you not knowing, you understand, you're getting pieces on the news, but you can't communicate with your family. And so I just really want to sit with how hard it would be to be that vulnerable, where you don't have access to any information that's happening with the people that you love most, and your chief support, your family, can't afford, you know what I mean, to have any real connection, be it through the phone, or if you even have access to the phone or JPay. We really want to put pressure on the governor and to release a lot of people, especially the most vulnerable. Really want to do that. And so the pressure is really and they should make whatever communication as far as JPay and these phones, that during this pandemic, it should be free. It should be free. Your money shouldn't be a barrier about your connection to your loved ones and about you having some peace of mind that your family is okay, right? And so these are some things that they should do. But for the most part, I think we should get into alignment real fast about the most vulnerable should be released. I really believe that. So yeah, so I just want people to consider that just because people are out of sight don't mean they should be out of mind. That the reality is there's a whole parts of our community who have made mistakes a long time ago, and this would be horrible if they get a death sentence because of the Department of Corrections response to this pandemic.